Hello. In this video, we are going to briefly talk about source-free RLC circuits. So, first of all, I am taking a series circuit. So, here is R, L and C, and if they are in series, that means there is a constant current which is flowing. So, it's better that I start analyzing with KVL. So, when I write the KVL equation, the voltage across resistor is R into I. The voltage across inductor is L di by dt, and voltage across capacitor in terms of its current is 1 by C I dt. On finding this integration term, I differentiate the whole equation and I get R di by dt plus L d square I by dt square plus I by C equal to 0. And to make the coefficient of highest order, this is the second order equation, to make this coefficient 1, I divide everything by L, so I get d square I by dt square plus R by L di by dt plus I by LC equal to 0. Now in this equation we know that we are going to get an exponential output because it's a decaying, it's a source free circuit, so current cannot increase, and we have seen that it will decay. So I am assuming that A into e raised to power st is my expected output of the current. So when I replace I equal to A e raised to power st, then d square I by dt square, by replacing A as e raised to power st, what should I get? S square A e raised to power S square A into d square A e raised to power st. That means A into S square e raised to power st. So when I get this second order, first order and all, A e raised to power st is common, and I get S square plus R by Ls plus 1 by Lc 0. Product of these two terms is 0. That means one of them or both of them are 0. This is definitely not 0 because that is our solution. That means this is 0. When I say S square plus R by Ls plus 1 by Lc is 0, this is a simple quadratic equation in S, and I can solve the roots S1 and S2. Once I get the roots, these are looking like little lengthy equations. So just for simplicity, what I say, okay, if I assume alpha is equal to R by 2L and omega naught is 1 by LC, then this equation can also be written as S square plus 2 alpha S plus omega naught square equal to 0, and the roots are S1 and S2 in terms of alpha and omega naught. So now I assumed that my current is A e raised to power st and S is having two values. That means my total solution is A1 e raised to power S1t plus A2 e raised to power S2t. This is my solution. I have the value of S1, I have the value of S1. I don't know what is A1, what is A2. Our next step will focus on that. Now, let me assume that I got simple roots, two distinct negative roots. But that is not possible all the time because look at this term. If alpha is greater than omega, then I get distinct roots. But if alpha is equal to omega, I get equal roots. And if alpha is less than omega, I get two complex conjugate pairs, right? One pair of complex conjugate roots. So in that case, I get three cases. If alpha is greater, equal or less than omega naught. If alpha is greater, I simply get A1 e raised to power S1t, A2 e raised to power S2t. If alpha is equal to omega, my solution will be of the type A1t plus A2 e raised to power st, where s is equal to minus alpha. This should be minus. It's written minus here. So I'm not going into derivation and reason here, but for brief snippet, you can remember that if alpha is equal to omega, my current will be A1 plus A2t. You can write A1t plus A2, don't, it will not matter, minus alpha t or st, where s is equal to minus alpha. And if alpha is less than omega, I am going to get these complex conjugates, and when I put this using Euler's identity, e raised to power minus j theta is cos theta plus j sin theta, and I solve this. Eventually I get e raised to power st or e raised to power minus alpha t, b1 cos omega dt plus b2 cos omega dt. I can call them a1 cos omega dt plus a2, that is all fine, where omega d is alpha naught, sorry, omega naught minus alpha naught square whole square root. So now we say, as a brief summary, what we should remember, that if I have alpha greater than omega, equal to omega, or less than, I have three cases, but still I have not solved for a1 and a2. So whichever case is this, the way of finding a1 and a2 will be same. And what is the method? Let me take with help of one example. So I have R, I have L, I have C. It's a source free series circuit. So I got alpha, I got omega. Alpha is greater than omega. I get two distinct roots. One is this, one is this. So what is my equation now? I of t is a1 e raised to power minus 0.1 t plus a2 e raised to power minus 9.89 t. Now look here. If I put t equal to 0, that means I of 0 is a1 e raised to power 0 is 1 plus a2 e raised to power 0. So I get one equation in a1 and a2. Second time what I do, if I take differentiation on both sides, that means di by dt is d by dt of a1 e raised to power s1t plus a2 e raised to power s2t, and in this I put t equal to 0. I am going to get second equation in a1 and a2. Solve first and second, and you get the values of a1 and a2. So now what are we saying? Let us look at this example or any one. Here first I got alpha and omega. Here alpha is less than omega, so I got s1 and s2, and this is my equation. In this equation put t equal to 0. Can you calculate the initial current in the inductor? That is given in the statement. Whenever we give you such questions, we give the initial current. Okay, initial current was given, or you can calculate. Now I got this. When I put it here, put t equal to 0, I of 0 is e raised to power 0 into a1 cos 0, cos 0 is 1, a2 sin 0, sin 0 is 0. That means a1 is equal to I0, and that is 1. Now di by dt, look at this. Look at this. V plus Ri plus LdI by dt equal to 0. Vc plus Ri plus LdI by dt equal to 0. That means what is di by dt? That is minus of V plus Ri divided by L. So minus of Ri plus V divided by L. I know the value of R. I know the value of initial current. I know the value of initial voltage across capacitor, and divided by L. This is di by dt at 0 plus. Differentiate the equation. This equation. This is in the form of u dot v. The differentiation will be v du by dt plus u dv by dt. In this complete differentiation, put t equal to 0. You get second equation in A1 and A2. This is equation number 2. This is equation number 1. Solve them. You get A1, you get A2. Okay, you get final answer as your current value. In the next snippet, we will talk about parallel RLC circuits.